Friends, how are you doing? It's Friday. What a wild time we had in the market this week. What a week we had here. A lot of money made. Now the week started off very good. Today we saw some sell-off. Some things still were rolling here Friday, but it's been a wild week. A lot of things done, a lot of conversation, and let's kind of ball it all up here, talk about some things and see what could be coming next week here. So just want to say thank you for being here, listening to me yap about what is going on right now. So two stocks right now that I do not have money into, but I talk about a lot, like KULR here, technology group. I think it's trying to make it back down under under $2 here. I think that might be happening, which I may get into. I'm very curious about their next earnings. That's what I'm very curious about. There's been obviously a lot of things going on in the company. I'm still not totally 100% comfortable putting in massive amount of capital in that stock. I'm just being honest. I know a lot of you do, and I'm hoping the best, wishing the best for everyone in that. It's just not where I'm able to allocate money in it right now, but I am watching it. I find it very interesting. And then you have D-Wave over here, which obviously has been getting a lot of attention. What's going on with it? And it's still holding this $6 to $7 position right now, trying to get to a $7 position. So it's a very interesting stock too, and a lot of people are buying the stock and they're holding it. So it's still something I haven't put money into, but I'm watching. I'm just talking about because people comment all the time about these two stocks, and they're very hot stocks, very popular stocks, but they have still a lot to prove from what they can do here in 2025. But they're not something that I have been put money into. That's just something I'm watching. And then, the winners that we saw a lot this week, obviously Tempest, Nancy Pelosi stock there. It's looking for $100 just off hype, just off people don't want to miss out. It looks like it's probably going to make it to $100 here, more than likely within the next 2-3 weeks, if not sooner. I mean, this was just a $40 stock here, days, weeks ago at this point, and it is just trailing up at this point. I mean, it's unbelievable how much the stock is moving. Essentially off of nothing, just hype, just like Nancy bought it. I don't think most people even know what the stock is, what it does. They're just buying because Nancy's involved with it, and they've made money. God bless them. Nvidia right back up to almost $140, and this is more than likely gonna be what's happening here with Nvidia. I think Nvidia is along with AMD too. I think more than likely those two stocks, Nvidia, because I'm showing it right here, but they're just going to slowly trail up, have a little bit of sell-off, slowly trail back up even higher, have a little bit of sell-off, and then it's just going to keep, and before people know it, they're going to be like, when did Nvidia get to $160? I think that's going to be just kind of what's happening here this year with Nvidia. And then you got Nimbus. Nimbus, another just great AI stock, which, if you heard, Nvidia just put a bunch of money into them. So that is really helping that stock right now too. And then you have SoundHound. So the news came out today with SoundHound that Nvidia sold their shares, pulled out of it. And people are like thinking this is terrible. Why did they do this? They must not believe in SoundHound anymore. I don't know necessarily. I don't think this is like a death sentence for SoundHound right now, because first of all, I didn't invest in the SoundHound because of Nvidia. It sure helped. I liked it. But reason why I started buying SoundHound at $2-3 here months ago was because they were getting deals. They were getting a lot of deals. They were getting big deals, and they still kind of are from just a few months ago at this point. So we're expecting SoundHound to have another great quarterly here to wrap up 2024 here in about 2 weeks, and then the rest of the year it could be smooth sailing. I don't think this is necessarily like a death sentence for them. Now, could it bring the stock back to some realistic prices? Absolutely. If anything, I think people should be looking at this in the other way, that this is like a blessing for you to maybe buy SoundHound at a more reasonable, decent price, because this is why when SoundHound went to $20, I told people, like, I am not telling you to buy SoundHound at $20. I think this is way too expensive. My price target for SoundHound, what I was saying here, and you can go back and look at it. Some of you may remember when I was talking about it. My price target for SoundHound all of 2025 was like $10 to $15. So when it swung up to $25 here, just weeks ago at this point, I was like, Okay, guys. Okay. This is crazy. This is crazy money. I mean, the evaluation is out of control at this point. It doesn't even meet. So, this I think this is just bringing it back to reality. But do I still think SoundHound's going to have a great year? As far as we can tell, yeah, SoundHound's still going to have a great year from what we can see. SoundHound still has a lot to prove, a lot to clean up here. So, to me, this is not like oh my God, I got to panic and take a loss. I don't know about that. So, yeah, I just, I saw the comments today, and people like, it's wild that like people want to like come point fingers at you, and some of you didn't. So if you're like saying like, well, I left a comment about SoundHound today, I hope we didn't get mad about it. I get mad. There were people that left like immediately came on the channel and were like, well, I bet you feel like a moron now because you said. I'm like, what? It's like when a stock sells off, people think like they've made a mistake buying into something. Things fluctuate, man. Things fluctuate. We don't know. SoundHound could be back at $15 next week. SoundHound could grab some kind of major deal here any moment. SoundHound is still very much one of those plays that could just come out of nowhere with a new deal, a crazy quarterly that comes out here next 2 weeks. I wouldn't count SoundHound out right now just because this NVIDIA news. I think NVIDIA read the writing on the wall when they said like the valuation of the stock is crazy right now and we're going to take some money right now. Listen, NVIDIA needs money. NVIDIA is making a warehouse the size of Manhattan right now. I'm sure they are looking for dough. And they said, hey, think about this. NVIDIA was buying SoundHound when it was like down in the dumps when no one knew about it. Do you think they're not going to? So it's business. This is business stuff to me. This isn't like, it's nothing else at this point to me. So let's talk about Big Bear, and we'll gradually talk about Palantir. It's a Friday video. I don't think anybody wants to listen to me yap here too long. But listen, this is what a week for Big Bear. Big Bear making it past $10 this week, almost to $11. Now Big Bear close out the week. It held this $9 position. So that is, I mean, the fact that from this time last week to now, Big Bear sitting at almost $10 a share. I mean, my God, where else have people made those gains here lately? I mean, it's just crazy. Listen, to me, Big Bear is in this position right now where Big Bear, the valuation obviously crazy high. Do I think Big Bear could shoot up more to like a $11 to $15 position? Sure, absolutely, because the FOMO, the hype is there. 100%. Do I think Big Bear could sell off realistically to a more realistic valuation to like $5-6? Yeah, sure. But it's in that situation where we're grabbing a new foundation for Big Bear. So, a week ago we were buying Big Bear at $3.50 to $4, okay? Now, what is going to be the new high for Big Bear? What is going to be the new low? The new low is $5-6. The new high, $7 to $9. It's hard to say. But Big Bear 2 is in a situation where Big Bear at any moment could grab another deal. I really do. I believe that with all my heart, and what evidence we've seen here is that Big Bear is looking for more money. Big Bear is looking for deals. They've got a new hungry CEO who has a military background. I don't think it's any coincidence that I sound like a broken record here, I know, but I don't think it's any coincidence that they just picked up 2 government contracts, and one a while ago with the old CEO. Kevin's been with Big Bear. Kevin, their new CEO, Kevin, he's not new to Big Bear. He's been with them. He's been high up in the company, but now he is the main guy. He's making the deals. He's making the plans. And now too, you have a situation where obviously, Trump in the White House, what is Trump spending money on? AI, defense, medical, those 3 big things, defense essentially. And what is Big Bear really tapping into money market wise? Defense. It's bread and butter of what they deliver for AI technology. So it's getting attention. It's getting attention by investors. It's getting attention with business. This is all good. This is all 100% good. So it is way too early in the year for people to say, and I know people out there saying that, and I get that, and I get people get cold feet and say that, Big Bear is going to sell back down to $2. Could it? Sure, anything's possible, but I still think fundamentally Big Bear is going to have obviously, from what we could tell, Big Bear is going to have a better year here in 2025 than it had in 2024. So what could that do? It could keep the price anywhere from $6 to $8 here. And on a bad day, maybe it could bleed back down to a high $4 to $5 mark. I think a lot of people are counting on Big Bear to go back down to as low as it could possibly go, because they've got a lot of profit they just took. They've got a lot of expectations of what could happen here with Big Bear the rest of the year. And they're saying, hey, if Big Bear can sell back down to at least a 5, I'm praying a $4 position. Guess what? I'm going to take that X amount of profit I just took out of Big Bear. I'm going to take at least half of it, and I'm going to shove it right back in there, plus what I already had in it, and I'm going to grab up twice as many shares. I think that's the mindset for a lot of people right now. That's a good mindset to have. That really is. That's a smart investment to me, because I think Big Bear is going to shock a lot of people. I think it's going to get more deals. I think it's going to get more attention. I think it's going to trail along here with Palantir, with the hype, with the FOMO, the conversation of like people are like, hey, yeah, I'm investing in Palantir, and then somebody's going to go, you know about that other stock that's a lot like Palantir, that Big Bear stock? It just rolls off the tongue. BigBear.ai. They're going to start looking at Big Bear. Okay, and as little as shares get chipped away here with Big Bear, it's taking more food off the dinner table, which is making it more expensive here. Okay, when there's not enough shares to go around, it gets expensive. Now, obviously, it's going to take some time here for that to really, get, pushed in there. My biggest hope and my biggest dream that Big Bear could do this year, and they've already done a lot of it, with the deals, the CEO, all that, I would just love to see them get a handful of more deals. Defense would be great, but deals in general would be great. I would love to see, Big Bear start to pay off some debt and get to where they could have a lot more cash on hand, because when it comes to bigger investors like, accountant firms, investment firms, what's the main thing they always want to see? They want to see the quarterlies, and they want to see cash on hand. Cash on hand, cash in the bank is so important when it comes to a lot of these big investment firms, because they want to know, and that's always been the argument with Palantir, because these big investment firms, they want to know that companies can afford to go a moment without having to sell shares, to sell assets. They want to make sure they have money. So that's the beautiful part about what's going on with Palantir. The Palantir is getting in that position where it's got like crazy amounts of money in the bank right now. It's piling up. So Big Bear, Big Bear is still my wild card. It's still my wild card. What is Big Bear going to bring this week? It's anyone's guess at this point. Big Bear could sell off. Big Bear could just trail right back up. But the question is too, when you look at this month chart with Big Bear, we go from $4, we go from $7, we go from $8, almost $9, sell off a little bit to an $8, and then we played around almost $11 here yesterday. So there's a very real argument that Big Bear is going to continue into, stepping up. Big Bear is in a dangerous position for investors that have sold out of Big Bear, to where if Big Bear comes out with some kind of news that it did get some kind of deal, or even I think if even like Kevin, this new CEO, came out and gave some good interview, just to make investors feel comfortable, it would do good things for Big Bear. It would make investors feel more comfortable. I think that's so important when these CEOs come out here and they talk about their company. I mean, it's just it every time I see that in a company with a CEO, it always helps 100%. There's a reason why Palantir got to where it got a lot faster than other AI companies, because it has a CEO who has a big mouth. God love him. We love it, but because Alex Karp just gives interview after interview and says crazy things, but it works. So friends, I'm excited about Big Bear this year. I believe it's going to be a very volatile year. I think it's going to have ups, it's going to have downs, it's going to make you bite your fingers at times, it's going to make you go like, oh my god, I've never seen so much money. But it's gonna take time to get places. If I'm not, I don't want to put this out there that say, Big Bear is going to be the new Palantir. There's not enough strong evidence to prove that at this point. Do I want to say that? Of course I want to say that. I'm greedy. I'm an investor just like you. Of course, I've got a ton of shares in Big Bear right now at very cheap range. Of course I want to see Big Bear go to like Palantir prices and do that kind of stuff. But I think realistically, I remember 2 years ago investing in Palantir when it was at $7 to $10. Palantir sat at certain price ranges for a long time before it really got to where it's at now. So it's saying that it takes time. I like things that move slow. I like things that move slow. So with that, Big Bear here is in a very special place right now. It's in a very special place. So, if Big Bear sits around this $6 to $9 range here for a while, I'm okay with that. I'm happy as a pig in mud. This is fantastic. And I just want to see these new quarterlies come out, which I'm going to be honest, these new quarterlies that are coming out to wrap up 2024 with Big Bear, I don't think they're going to be anything special. I don't expect them to even meet expectations. It's not 2024 that I'm concerned about. 2024 is not really something I was concerned about. It's 2025 that I want to see be the makeover of Big Bear right now. So like I said, don't be surprised to see Big Bear sell off. Don't be surprised to see Big Bear run up again. We are in some very, very choppy waters right now where people are like, I don't know what to do. People are going to take profit. People are going to take a loss. People have made a lot of money. People have lost a lot of money this week. It's all in a bucket together, and it is. I have a YouTube channel. I get as many as nice positive comments I get from you guys. I really do appreciate that, and all the tips and all that kind of stuff. I can't tell you how much that means to me. It's unbelievable that people do that. I really appreciate that. But I get just as many comments where people, they messed up. They took profit. They can't get back in, or they bought too high. They just showed up at the last moment here, and now they're back holding. And guess who they take it out on? They take it out on me. So I get it. I get it 100% where everyone's at with different price ranges. But long term, I feel comfortable about what Big Bear is bringing to the table here, and that's why I'm in it. Friends, so just wrapping up here on Palantir. I mean, Palantir, I lost count. How many times this week did Palantir break records? I mean, my God. I mean, we went from the quarterlies coming out, Palantir going from 80 to 105 bucks, then a little bit of sell-off, then we went to 111, then we went to 115. People went, there's no way it's going to go higher. I was like, it's going to, and then of course now Palantir is at almost at 120 bucks. 21 months ago, almost 22 months ago at this point, Palantir was at $7. Obviously it's safe to say the valuation of Palantir is out of control. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. Okay. Now a lot of people are worrying that Palantir is going to sell off. Now, could Palantir have a huge prehistoric sell-off here? I don't think that's impossible. One thing that we do know from stocks that have huge run, the first lesson you always learn when you're new in the market is that whatever runs up real fast will run down real fast. Now with Palantir has not been doing that. Even when this DeepSeek stuff came out, just a moment ago, Palantir sold off a little bit, but then those quarterlies came out and Palantir went, well, I mean, even after that, Palantir just went, I don't care. So Palantir, it's obvious that Palantir is in this moment of hype. It's in this moment of people are like, I don't even care. I'm just going to keep buying it. It's the hottest stock out there right now. There's nothing that is as hot right now as Palantir. Everyone on earth is buying Palantir. If they're not, they're lying to you. Even with the people that are bearish on it and like, you need to sell the stock. It's overvalued. It's not. Listen, I am drinking the juice on Palantir. I'm like the head cult leader of Palantir and Alex Karp. Like, I'm writing the memos. I'm in the fan club, like writing the emails. I know Palantir is overvaluated as it sits right now. Of course. But it's what comes with Palantir right now. It's just like when you buy Tesla. You're buying into what is coming. You're buying into the name. You're buying into everything that's attached to it. Hype, run, the future of it. Not to mention that Palantir has a lot more good being said with it than bad at this point, and it has this run now where it's proven a lot of people wrong in the market. And listen, one thing that we learned from 2024 with a lot of stocks, like obviously Nvidia, nothing has to make sense, okay? Like, things don't have to make sense. We can look at a market cap and go, well, that just doesn't add up. When has it? I things that I have went through in the market that shouldn't have happened and don't make sense. AMC, GameStop. I went through the first Trump administration in the market where the market just showed insane gains. You can make money off just stupid things then. I'm watching the kind of same thing happen right in front of us. Right now, what does the market love? What does the market want to feed off of right now? The main thing that the market is feeding off of right now is technology stocks, is tech stocks. The market is in love with tech stocks right now. And that's one reason why you're seeing Big Bear just go freaking ballistic right now, because people are looking for tech stocks. What is the market? It's people. People are looking for tech stocks. What is the main people in charge that run the world right now putting their money in? What are they focusing on? Tech stocks. It's tech. Tech is ruling everything right now. So it is the gold rush right now. 100%. It's obvious what it is right now. So with that, fundamentally, yes, the valuation is stupid. The zeitgeist, the hype, everybody wanting to be a part of it, it's all there. It's 100% there. Palantir is a feeding frenzy at this moment, and this is why you're seeing people on YouTube say Palantir is going to $1,000. Palantir is going to $500, $800. Of course it can, because it doesn't have to make sense right now. Okay, it doesn't have to. So I think this is the conversation with different investors. Okay, there's a lot of investors that they're just so by the book, and God bless them, I love them, because I watch a lot of them that are just so like, well, you take the numbers don't add up, and with this right here, and then you multiply that, and you get the valuation of this with this deal, and it's going to equalize this at the end. Whatever we're trying to say here, when it comes to this fancy. And this is the conversation when it comes to different types of investors. There's a lot of investors that they only invest in things that are bringing in revenue that they can see, that is projected, and that's smart. That's absolutely smart, and that's a lot what I do. But two, everything I will always price in hype. I will always price in something just going crazy. Okay, I will do that, and that's a lot what I did with Big Bear a few months ago. Big Bear was getting attention even a few months ago, where people are like, because before I started putting money in Big Bear was sitting around $1.60 on a good day. Big Bear got some news. They got a deal. Went to $2.50. Then I went, okay. Some news was building around Big Bear. People were starting to talk about it. I was like, I think I need to get in this right now. I started talking about Big Bear. I said, hey, I'm putting money in this. It's not guaranteed. Then Big Bear started to trail up a little bit. Other people were paying attention to Big Bear. Big Bear got a deal. Another deal. Things can get out of control real fast. So we've seen that 100% with Big Bear. We're watching it. Obviously, we've been watching it here with Palantir. It doesn't always have to make sense. It just doesn't have to make sense. Palantir, obviously, Palantir more than likely is headed into this conversation of somewhere in this year, possibly, if this keeps up with what's going on right now, a few things are going to happen. Palantir is going to start to report billion-dollar quarterlies. Okay, great, fantastic. That's really going to help with this outrageous valuation right now. Next, we're going to be in conversation of next year, Palantir talking about it's going to be $1 trillion company. Dan Ives has already said, hey, I believe Palantir is going to be $1 trillion company. We're going to be talking about Palantir going into just insane prices. If this keeps up, if this keeps up this trend, and I don't think anybody knows how long this is going to keep going with this market, okay? The market is just out of control right now. In the future here, we could be talking about Palantir has a stock split, okay? Because the stock has just gotten so ridiculous, it's just gotten so outrageous that they're forced to do a stock split. Okay, now obviously with that, I believe that will slow down a little momentum here, but it doesn't mean it's going to kill the momentum. So there's a lot more that could happen here that's outrageous with Palantir here. Okay, could Palantir have sell-off? Of course it could have sell-off. You know, we could be in a situation where Palantir does falter back down to 105, 90 bucks, maybe 80, who knows. But it's going to take a bad day. It's going to take a bad day in the market. We're not finding it at this point. Right now, from what we can see, the only bad news in the market is inflation, the tariffs, but what we see right now with these tariffs, the market goes, I'm not really worried about them. I don't know where this market's going. Okay, I don't know where this market's going. But right now, one thing that I can say for sure is that we're supposed to be in a recession. You know, all these economists and all these people said that, you know, Trump wins, we're going to be in a recession here by December, January, February, March. We're not seeing signs of that right now. We're just not. And obviously, too, I think what we saw in 2024 is happening again here in 2025. It's AI is controlling the market 100%. So I'm excited. I'm encouraged. I literally had someone call me today and say, like, do you think Trump is going to do good with the market the next 4 years? Do you think, you know, the market's going to crash? When do you think it's a good time to get in the market? I literally had just had this conversation a few hours ago. And I told this person, you know, instead of waiting for something terrible to happen because we don't know when that's going to happen, is it next week? Is it next year? Is it 3 years from now? I don't know. But I'm surely not going to wait for something terrible to happen. Listen, regardless, there's good fundamental places you can put your money in the market, whether they just be boring ETFs or individual stocks like Palantir. There's plenty of AI stocks out there that are going to have a great year. It's not just Palantir that's going to have a wonderful year. There's plenty of them. Will Palantir continue to go up? I'm surely not going to bet against it at this point. I'm surely not going to like change my mindset on Palantir at this point and say, it's not going to do much more, because when Palantir comes out with this Q1 here for 2025, and if it's even remotely close to $1 billion, or it is $1 billion, that we're keeping everything we just got, and we're going to start to go into some ridiculous numbers. I mean, ridiculous numbers. Friends, think about that. All right, everyone, take care. I don't know. I said I was going to do a short video, and I get to talking. You guys know how I am. Friends, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Congratulations this week on everybody that made a ton of money. And listen, if you did things where you're upset this week, listen, I think there's still greener grass coming here. There's still a lot to come here in the market this year. And be encouraged, be excited. It's a good time to be an investor. Friends, take care. Bye, everyone.